Hey, peoples of the tubes of the world, in the YouTube universe, and verses of that unify through the intellect of various spheres. Enough weird gobbledygook, but I just want to show how beautiful this cedar is that I'm just relaxing by my throne, my natural throne. You see, I just got a nice little marsh around me, and it is very soothing, relaxing, replenishing, rejuvenating, all the best adjective descriptors that you could, put to a place to relax and, enjoy nature in spring at this time of year. And, oh yes, I'm feeling in a kind of ecstasy. A simple ecstasy, not too an intense of an ecstasy, just, like most plants, they have a gradual, ecstatic kind of expansion, that they experience and express, eventually through flowers and the abundance of flowers and whatnot. And well, I'm sharing this because the flowers, I think, are kind of neglected only when you start to look into the complexity of the shape, the colors, textures, and the fact that the flower is like basically what's the exterior of the plant to its giving its nectar, its pollen, its some of its life force and beauty to pass forth to generate more of such similar beauty. And then the seeds, of course, are supposed to be sequestered and protected within the flower, and then projected out, to a spot, so it can replant, regrow, and then reseed, and the cycle loops all over again, right? And it's a very beautiful thing to see various types of, plant creature forms. It's always something new. You go to a new swamp, and there's various new species of plants and whatnot. And how do you like my hair? Is it looking pretty golden? I feeling pretty golden today. Yeah, pretty golden. What else to talk about in this very relaxed, banter that I'm going to partake and bestow upon you to give. So tone. I gotta watch out here too. There's mosquitoes. They buzz around. Usually only in the evening. We're not quite at dusk yet, so the vampires have not come out to take their little noses and get their little fixings and passionate red. There's so tone is very important. The reason why I speak with a relaxed tone in a lot of my recent clips and everything is just just to help people just relax and enjoy the more subtle things of their own nature, and not be too artificial, superficial in any kind of speaking or delivery of my thoughts and expressions. And so tone is everything. The tone in your facial expression, and I think a lot of especially the youth aren't taught kind of like how to use the tone that they have properly, and it just basically makes a cycle that doesn't improve their own life or other people's lives. And then people are stuck in kind of like self-serving patterns, and or just stuck in ways of just grouping with one or two people that they feel they can only trust, or whether it be for people, when really we should be more, loving, compassionate, and even trusting at times of each other. And the only reason there isn't as much is because the various, let's call it what it is, types of propagation of divide and conquer, aspects of media and these types of things. And it's silly, really. Like, nature is silly as well, but I mean, the things these days is just it's very laughable. And that's why I revert to using YouTube, and because I think it's kind of like I used to like watching the 22 minutes later, or what was that? Kind of those Canadian Air Force shows of, like, making fun of all the politicians and all the rhetoric and hullabaloo, right? And all the scandals and such like that, exposing the lies, and you know certain politicians make various promises and then they're not upheld per se, and then of course then they got to change office 2 to 4 plus years later, and it's just like it's just a wheel of fortune for those people to keep making the riches. But the riches of bills is nothing compared to the riches of your own understanding of nature, and your own ability to be excited, to experience pleasure, and lust, and all the best things of living, right? So don't always put the money on a pedestal at the top. It's not the capstone or anything like that. The money is just the currency. That's literally what it is. It's just a means of making the flow of energy move people to do things, which I think is very sad, because in nature too, there's so much currency as well. So you can always find new ways to, collect green, so to speak, your green, or spinach, or as Popeye collects his spinach and gets all real buff and stuff like that. There's a lot of truth to these cartoons and such, because excuse me, there's a lot more. Basically, I'm saying to nature as a very gradual, expanding kind of teacher. It shows, its beauty, and it can teach you things about how things are constituted, and then how those things can imbue strength and various essences. Essences is really the key word, because we have senses of smell that can smell a wide range of things, probably on a number scale of like 1 to 80 of different things. That's why there's so many varieties of flowers and so many colors as well, right? 72 plus. I don't know all the exact workings of nature, and that's because, once again, the public school systems aren't very, very concise and honest in the truthfulness, and that's just to keep people kind of in groups and coordinated, and all the left brain kind of just programming type of propagation, once again, of the programs, and keeping people in control. But once again, you got to use your third eye, your connecting eye, and sometimes it's I think it's the same size as regular eyes, and it balances both hemispheres of the brain, and so you have to use your left side to coordinate what you want to get in order from left, just like you're reading a book, you're putting all the thoughts in order, in sequential order, so then things make sense, right? Make sense, as we have that expression. Whereas the right brain is just seeing everything as connected, which even makes more sense. But it's kind of, sometimes it's so grand or almost hard to fathom the whole scale of. So then that's why people think, oh, okay, that doesn't make sense to me. I thought 1 + 1 equals 1, or they'll say 2. But in reality, 1 + 1 equals 2, but then 2 turns into something else, truthfulness. And as the things interact, vibrate, touch each other, energy courses through various pathways, etc. And so nothing is permanently deterministic of, your own. You can try to plan everything out, but it's very foolish. The basic thing you want to have is a good plan for the upbringing of your own blissfulness, and then sharing that with others. Your cared for ones. The people that you feel will help also create more bliss and creativity, and enhance your hobbies and abilities. Right, that's really key to remember. Even as we get older, we lose some abilities, but then also with wisdom, then you can gain abilities. You can gain the ability to control, say, your joints a little more stably, or let's see, maybe your sight you can see a little clearer than you could see before. And that could be due to just being conscious of breathing or clean air, like I am in the forest right now. It feels amazing. Good clean air, allows for more light and to flow through you, more energy as well, right? And the clarity is a big factor in your ability to foresee kind of what you want to create. I like the word create. It's very original, you could say, going back to how, if you think of how stars begetted planets, just like in the Bible, God begetted Adam and Eve, and this serpent that's in the garden, and all this interesting drama that's going on. That sounds a lot like some kind of genetic experimentation, which we are, I think, experiments, right? And so you could say we have handicaps, but at the same time, there is a part of ourself in the center that has the ability, when people say, oh yeah, I felt like I could do anything, say, like in a dream, or certain dreams, or just like when you have a good workout or something, you have the energy, you're in the perfect zone, and then, that's important to keep in your mind, anything of lofty goals is really possible. It's just the constant working is the tough part. And whether that's running better at track and field, or leaping a little over a higher obstacle, or farther in a long jump, or what else, skateboarding, a new flip tricks to a slide, and combination out, and with the perfect amount of style, right? My basic point is, we're not just drones, to be used by other people. And I just want to recount, where I've worked before, right? The word work, come on, why can't we have better, kind of nomenclature for the things that we do for a living. If we're doing something for a living, it should be all pointing like upwards, like a pyramid, like all being positive, growing, building, amounting to something greater, and then but the detrimental parts and people that use their tone um, the wrong way, it should be corrected. It should be just like balanced out. And I can see in retrospect, how people are kind of, having their little ploys and just, like, let's see if you make some mistake, or, like people always do that just for fun, just like people do pranks today. It's kind of funny, right? But at the same time, like the being genuine, getting back to that on my previous video, I put that in the title. Being genuine is very important if you want to make some kind of truly meaningful creativity come about, and make people happy in the deepest, richest aspects, of their own learning and their own creations and these types of things, right? Like, it's very important to really be genuine. And here, I just want to give it a little panorama. Oh, look at those glinting sun rays you can see refracting through the so it's a little smudged, the camera, but anyway, I'm grateful I have this right now. That's another thing. Always be grateful for what you have, and then you can appreciate it more, and then everything just kind of accumulates and appreciates. It's important to remember to save your things, polish them. Here, I show you that I'm not just a talker, so these, and I'm pretty fearless when it comes to like trying new herbs, and people want to say that they're drugs. Well, let's get this right. A drug, technically, if you look in a dictionary, is something that influences your mind. So practically everything is a drug. The TV that you watch is a drug. It influences your mind. Even commercials, they've been shown to be hypnotizing there's been hypnotizing techniques to basically make people do things, subconsciously, and through, their quick programming and flashes. And it's important to just be sometimes conscious of that, so you don't fall victim to those types of programs. But so these greens right here, I'm actually not sure the name of it, the Latin long name of it, but I am going to try. See, it has 4 little petals, or actually they're not petals, they are the regular leaves. So typically this would be like for maybe a smaller creature, but even though we're tall as humans, around 6 foot, more or less, you can always stoop down and enjoy the beautiful, flimsy, and the lighter of herbs, right? I'm still into herbs, so that's why I'm talking about them. They got the finest as smallest of the seeds, which is good. It's more easily usable by the body. It's less hassle if you eat something, like say almonds or something that's cracked out of the shell. Even the skin on it will be kind of hard to chew through, and some say they have phytates, so you're supposed to soak them first, or else the digestion, like similar to beans, you get gas, right? So that's just a little information. This is tiny flower in there too, and walking the walk or sitting the sit. Just having fun, you know. I was thinking, this would be a really good place to have a little party, bump some rhymes, yeah. Spit some rhymes, which I'm not too much into right now. More so into just, enjoying spring, really. I think planting the seeds this spring is just something, something exciting. Once again, about the spreading of seeds, sharing of seeds, cross-pollinating, these types of things, even in small amounts. I think everyone can agree that cross-pollinating and seed planting is a really fun thing. Just to see how you can make it happen, so to speak, right? Bring a whole new living organism into the world to suffuse more oxygen and all the good things, right? So that's pretty much what I got for today. Maybe I'll finish this with some rhymes. This is all freestyle, by the way. I did not plan this out. I really think that freestyle is like it's not cathartic. It's just a way to express emotions. Get things off the shoulders or off my chest, like, so that I keep things moving in a good way for anyone that wants to know, like, what it is to be someone living just in nature like this, just stoically, trying to learn about all the contours of leaves and appreciate the beauty of the leaf, as it's like an oval symbol of the female genital parts. I won't get into too many details, but yes, and it's interesting to see all the varieties of pine too. Some are more. It's interesting. Like the younger ones are very flimsy but flexible, just like kids when they're young, they can bound and fall down a hill and roll around like a ball, like a bouncy ball. When you get older, it's a lot. We gotta stretch more, right? So I highly recommend do your yoga. Do your yoga, yeah, and wear a toga. Go out, make her happy, yeah. Get on, get her on ya. Doing something like a dance that's named the clappy, yeah. Never sloppy, yeah. Other guys looking at me like a jalopy. Broken down when I'm like a king with the crown. Look, I'm shining, yeah, divining, yeah, strong with my spine. And I can stand strong, yeah, buck like a bull, and I can smash like a ram. Tap that big bootied man. I think that's enough for now, but yeah, I want to hear your best freestyle. Come on, what you got? Yeah, go to the garden, get it happening. Yeah, getting that new seed of sin, that one of passion. Yeah, we're gonna get it done in the best way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, lay down in the hay, making the connection in a new way, 'cause the old way got stale and boring. Yeah, even though secure, what is security? But a blockage of you from me, from our freedom and our ability to fly free. That's it. That's all I want to say. Watch your tone. That's all I'm saying. And then I think things can get better. You know, I've gone off the rails and yelled really loud, but that's only because people have raised their voice at me in a way that I thought was just not reasonable and not even smart for their own well-being. And so, you know, you just gotta teach people a lesson sometimes. And basically, you also want to just have people enjoy the pleasures of life, right? With your tone. And that's what I'm finishing on. So, signing out, like and subscribe. Comment what I should do next.